I have to agree, that's not one I'm familiar with myself. Checking on that, though.
As am I.
Okay, so the big letter J is similar to the big Z. It is a strength HP build.
Yep, I got the same thing. Oh, and they're off. So Fairy Water, Magic Key, and I missed the first one. And they do have Return. So this is going to be interesting, guys. We have speed hacks turned on and fast text. So they're going to be going all over the place real fast. So we're going to need to pay attention to what these things are that they find. Apparently, they also found gold. So it looks like the Datyedyeguy is getting some keys right away.
Always a good play when you've got gold and an access to do so.
Captain Green taking the chance, and he does find a magic key in the chest. That's good. Gold, herb, and torch.
Well, not too much to be found in the treasury, and since they did have return, that means they did not get to take advantage of the early game gold glitch either, since that only works when you get 2 magic keys to start with.
Given that they have gold, and given where the key shop is and everything, they should check out that town. Try to get themselves equipped before checking out what's in the bottom of Datyedyeguy here, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it does look like we have a mountain cave for our first cave here.
And slimes with Dragon Lord 2 breath.
Nothing out of the ordinary there.
Captain Green going to check coal, and coal gives him nothing.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking when you find coal and you know there's an item to be found there, and you get that disappointing news of there was nothing to be found.
All right, so what do we have here? We have magic armor for 5 gold. So that's going to be a guaranteed purchase. What else do we have here? Small shield for 929, maybe. Bamboo pole, meh. Hand axe, yeah, that's too expensive. But the magic armor is nice. It gives the same defense as full plate, but it also refills your HP at the rate of 1 per every 4 steps.
And Datyedyeguy choosing to go ahead and grab the bamboo pole, which isn't a bad option this early on. It gives you a little bit of extra attack. Not too much, as it's only going to give you an extra 2 attack power, but this early on it can definitely help.
Now Captain Green doing something I think is and Wraith kill on Datyedyeguy, and it looks like we got 2 levels out of that, which includes heal, which is awesome.
So it looks like that bamboo pole buy might have just been the right option there.
And Wolf Lord goes down. Max gold off the Wolf Lord. And Demon Knight sends Datyedyeguy back to start. Captain Green buying some more keys, and he's going to take the cave, which I believe was the grave, I think. Yeah, because he can only go right. So that, I believe, is...
For going only right, that's going to be Mountain Cave, I believe.
All right. Yeah, I get those 2 confused. Datyedyeguy running into a scorpion, gets that scorpion down. Well, welcome, Slashed Infinity. Hopefully you enjoy watching this game for the first time. It's a little crazy.
It's definitely a great way to get into it, watching the chaos mode here, as it is exactly as described. It is chaos.
Very much. Cooper, it's not Tablet Cave. There are enemies in that cave. We saw the fire-breathing slime in there earlier.
And Captain Green getting his first kill off of Magic Wyvern does get him up to level 3 as well.
Demon Knight wrecking Datyedyeguy again. And we have a hard-hitting metal slime.
Metal slimes, and they do have stop spells, so there's not going to be too big a chance of that working for those who purchase the magic armor, as I do believe that does give you some stop spell resistance at least.
So scorpions are eminently killable. I believe Datyedyeguy got one. Yep, there we go.
And looks like Tie-Dye is going to go ahead and make another trek through Mountain Cave, see what he can find. There are 5 chests here to be found.
Metal Slime wrecks Datyedyeguy.
Yeah, those Metal Slimes dealing over 32 with that last hit there, so those will not be an enemy to be too fond of early on at least. And then we have the AK-47 doing what he's best known for, which is smacking our players down quite quickly.
And casting Stop Spell. Wait, what?
Not usually known for that, but a lot of enemies with Stop Spell this time around.
Yeah, it certainly seems like that. So that means Erdrick's armor is going to be great to get, especially for like those AK-47s where it seems like Stop Spell is 50-50 with attack. So, you know, they'll never hit with Erdrick's armor because it's resistant to Stop Spell. So the Datyedyeguy fighting a slime, only to have the slime run away before it uses Dragonlord 2 Breath.
And Star Wyverns are also quick to go down, as well as the Knights with a whopping 237 experience, I believe that was.
It looked like it. Wolf takes care of Captain Green.
Yeah, Wolves, on the other hand, not so friendly.
Level 5, get massive amounts of agility on that one, and hurt more. Hello, okay. Well, it's time to do some damage.
Goldman easily taken out with a hurt more, and not too bad on the experience, giving 100 on each kill.
Yeah, you'd like to see a little more, but 100's good.
Ooh, and Poltergeist hitting for 21, as well as a dragon, not a Dragon's Lord's Breath, but a Baby's Breath for 23.
Level 7. For Datyedyeguy, another 15 agility. Notice on the Datyedyeguy side that the slime... Oh, the slime did go down to a hurt more. Okay. Well, the first one didn't. So...
Yeah, not providing too much experience or gold, though, so looks like he'll just probably run away from those. Yeah, and there he goes.
And Poltergeist not worth it either, only 7 experience. And it looks like Datyedyeguy is going to restore his energy at an inn and MP, and probably get his exploring shoes on, I would think.
At level 7, with a decent amount of attack power and agility underneath him, be a good time to do that. As Captain Green gets into another fight with Metal Slime, and unfortunately loses that fight again. Usually rather happy to see the Metal Slime. This time around, not so much.
Stonemen definitely not worth it, only 28 experience. Oh, look, Armored Knights.
And Tie-Dye's spell has been blocked, so he chooses just to run away.
And Captain Green finds out the fun slimes. Yay!
And that seems more often than not that those slimes have Dragonlord's Breath.
Yeah, that's always fun. Fun's a good word. And it looks like metal slimes are indeed resistant to Hurtmore.
So far, I haven't seen too much of Swamp, though, so that's a nice, pleasant reprieve, at least for now, anyways.
Yeah, it just means Charlock will be deep in one.
That is definitely possible.
Blue dragons in the mountain cave with Stop Spell. They don't hit too terribly hard, though.
All right, well, we have both of our runners trying to explore the mountain cave.
In the dark, no less.
And a slime with that Dragonlord's Breath just says no. Yeah, exploring the caves in the dark, definitely no easy feat, but is able to be done.
Blue Dragon's absolutely not worth it at 4 experience. Boy, you know, this isn't a very... dragon scale in the mountain cave?
Not too bad. Extra 2 defense.
This is not a very high experience seed so far. I think, what was it, the Wraith, I think, that we found that was 200 something, but that's about it?
The Knight was 237.
Okay.
So we have Tie-Dye going to the second floor, while Captain Green is going to get a little bit more exploration done here. And does find a cave and a town.
Warlock goes down relatively easy. Oh, Erdrick's sword for Datyedyeguy in the mountain cave.
That is definitely a great find, as Captain Green finds Rimildar. So he does have a chest to check as well as a shop, but looks like nothing too fancy to be purchasing there.
Yeah, nothing fancy there.
We have an herb and some fairy water found in the top section of the second floor of Mountain Cave. Captain Green does opt to go ahead and get that bamboo pole, as it has been the best affordable weapon to purchase so far.
Silver harp. So, first 2 races of the Swiss tournament, we have 2 required items in the lone Rimildar chest.
As Tie-Dye finds the Stones of Sunlight in the Mountain Cave. So much to be found there for the stones and Erdrick's sword.
So Datyedyeguy now just needs to find the harp cave and the token. And he will stumble on Rimildar at some point relatively soon.
And we might go ahead and, I'm going to say we might get our first look at what this cave over by Rimildar is going to be.
I'm betting this is a swamp cave.
Indeed,
yep.
Or swamp.
Swamp North. So it just kind of gave me that impression, because it looks like this continent here that Tantagil's on is not very big. I'm betting most everything else is on the other side of the swamp cave here.
And a town just on the other side.
What do we have here? We have Garenham.
It gives access to 3 more chests, another shop for purchasing items in, as well as another basement for checking for that ever-important Jerk Cave, as well as the Staff of Rain Cave.
Silver shield for 3,000. That'll be purchasable soon. And no armor. Or no weapon, I should say.
Of course, we could also have the ever-popular, not random enough Garen's Grave in the back of Garenham as well.
We could. And given that we're still looking for the token, that would be a good thing to find.
This is true, and we do know, since there was nothing to be found in coal, we only have the coordinate item as well as the Hawksness item, so the Fairy's Flute or the token can definitely be in a chest at this point.
Absolutely.
Or they could both be in a chest, as we do find the Death Necklace in the back of Garenham.
Death Necklace is an item that was taken out of the vanilla Dragon Warrior game. The only thing in the vanilla that it was even coded to do was curse. So McGrew, the wonderful creator of the randomizer, said, you know what? Let's actually give this thing some use. So now, if you equip the Death Necklace, not only are you cursed, but you gain 10 attack power at the cost of 25% of your HP.
And that was a big magic and HP gain for that level on Datyedyeguy, as Captain Green finds the Tablet Cave.
So the best thing that Captain Green can find in here would be the token. Probably the second best thing would be the Fighter's Ring at this point.
As we know, it's not going to be the sword, and he already has the Death Necklace. There's not much left to be found, since we know where the Stones of Sunlight were found as well, as Datyedyeguy does pick up his Silver Harp in Rimildar.
Nope, and it's a cursed belt.
That's an extra 180 gold, but I don't foresee them having issues with gold acquiring, since there's only one more item left to buy, and it's only a little over 3,000, which is not hard to come by at all.
No. Once they actually start grinding a little bit, that gold should come really quick.
Oh, I see that swamp that we were missing on the first continent.
There it is. So I wonder if the Hawksness with Erdrick's armor is somewhere behind there.
Oh, we do have another town just north of Garenham.
So what do we have here? This is Cantlin.
The ever-important Cantlin with the coordinates that could lead to the Erdrick's armor. And a fairly cheap flame sword as well to be found, as well as a fairly cheap large shield.
Yeah, so picking up the large shield here, good call for Captain Green. It'll give him some defense, some extra defense now until he picks up that silver shield later. So the big thing here in Cantlin now, he's probably going to, at some point very quickly, go get the coordinates here. He's got 6 herbs, he's got plenty of heal casts. It's just going to be a slow trek to get the coordinates.
And it looks like we have Datyedyeguy going through the tablet cave in the dark now. I would say one of the least navigable caves in the dark, just due to all the dead ends that can be found there. And Captain Green ignoring the coordinates for now.
Interesting call. Yeah, but what Captain Green needs right now is, I believe it was was it 5 or 6 that we get hurt more in this seed? Because once he gets hurt more, he'll be able to do a lot more in this seed, but he needs to get that right now.
Yeah, I believe that was level 5 when Datyedyeguy picked up Hurtmore, and has definitely allowed him to kind of catapult his way quite a bit ahead in the experience game. As he's about, 1,500 at this point?
Yeah, 1,500. Yep. Which is not insurmountable by any means, but it's getting to the point where he might start pulling ahead if Captain Green doesn't get another level soon.
Definitely a nice grind spot to be found. Can definitely get you back in the game as far as experience goes. And Datyedyeguy dipping out to grab a torch before he goes back into the tablet cave. As I said, it's definitely not the easiest to navigate, just due to all the dead ends that can be found.
Yeah. Tetra, this is the randomizer of the game that Nest Cardinality ran at AGDQ.
It looks like Captain Green's going to try and, well, he's going to take a Dragon Lord breath from the slime first, but it looks like he's just trying to get some more levels, maybe get a couple of spells or some more HP before he goes on more exploration.
Yeah, but he desperately needs that Hurtmore spell. Well, can he get the slime? Nope. Slime says, ha ha.
And Noratio pointing out that we have made the game of Dragon Warrior much meaner, which he is definitely correct on that, especially with slimes that have Dragon Lord 2 breath currently.
And Captain Green finding level 5, which means he does now have the Hurtmore spell. So now he's going to be able to catch up some of this experience here, as long as he, fights enemies that actually have experience.
Oh, Wolflord's given him max on gold, and does get Datyedyeguy to level 10. So not too bad here. Under 2,500 experience and already at level 10.
Yep. And I would see that once he sees the price of the silver shield. No, the silver shield was in Garenham. So he's already seen the price of the silver shield, so at some point he's probably going to grind for experience and for the gold for that silver shield.
And Captain Green does find that those knights give a hefty amount of experience, and looks like he's going to farm on those for a while we have Tie-Dye finding out what our coordinates are going to be.
I like the idea here of farming on these knights. That'll help him get some experience real quick. If you look, he's almost already caught up.
Yeah, that seem to be plentiful in that desert area just outside of Rimildar. So
64
looks like
north and 10 west. That's Princess Gwayland territory.
Yeah, that's most likely going to be on the second continent with 64 north.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that's on the second continent.
We actually have Captain Green not only catching up to Tie-Dye, but surpassing him in experience at this point with that night farm.
Yeah, I like this idea of the night farm here for Captain Green. Yeah, for both our runners, but for Captain Green. Because now one of the best things you're going to be able to get is now his strength is going up, now his agility is going up. Let's get that repel spell, because repel seems to be extraordinarily effective in chaos, oftentimes. And let's just now run through the map with limited encounters. So the Datyedyeguy is doing a little bit of exploration here. Meanwhile, Captain Green's going to join him on the second continent. I think we have to go kind of... Oh, look, there's Charlock right by the swamp cave. Perfect. So there's a town near Charlock. That was Cantlin. So, maybe a first floor Charlock grind might be possible a little later.
It's definitely possible. I've done it myself a time or two when there was a town nearby. Depending on what enemies we have to be found in Charlock, some of them can definitely hit for quite a bit and end your grind rather early.
So the next thing that Captain Green needs to do is he needs to get his butt back in that mountain cave and go find Erdick's sword. And he needs to go to Cantlin and get those coordinates.
And hopefully he will remember for later when it does come time to do the grind, where that night grind was, since I don't believe I saw him coming across anything other than knights in that area.
Yeah, no, it looked like a real night-heavy area in that desert. We have virtual high-fiving going on here in the overworld. They just kind of passed each other.
Yeah, a lot of open grassland and swamp over there, but nothing else to be found. We are still missing quite a bit here. We have not found the Jerk Cave, we have not found the Staff Cave, and we have not found Garen's Grave, which could definitely hold the token. But since we do have coordinates, we do know there's at least one item to be found on the world map, which could either be the token, the flute, or the armor. And I believe that was Datyedyeguy with Stop Spell as well, so Stop Spell Heavy Seed. Yeah, seeing those red dragons run away from you when usually, as they are known as the fun police, because they will ruin your fun in a normal run and send you back home rather quickly. So it's always satisfying to see them run away.
Armored Knight. 2 Heart Mars, 146 experience. If there's a town nearby, that's not a bad grind, maybe.
Speaking of towns nearby, we have Datyedyeguy getting sent back home. 90 HP and 93 MP, only at level 10. So looking good in the HP and MP department so far, at least. And meanwhile, we have Captain Green exploring more of our second continent here, hoping to find something other than Charlock and the towns he's already found so far.
So, we're dropping a couple of frames here, it looks like, and they're just doing some exploring. So, while they're doing this, I think it'll be a good time to introduce our runners to those that might be new to the community or new to the races or everything. Just kind of give them a little background. Let's start with the runner on the right, Captain Green. New and the, I suppose, the quote-unquote NES community. He does play Zelda 1 Rando. He is currently in the vanilla Zelda 1 tournament, and this is his really first big go at Dragon Warrior Randomizer. So he's kind of new to everything, but he's really looking forward to it, and as far as I know, he's having a ton of fun doing it. Datyedyeguy, on the other hand, is a veteran when it comes to Dragon Warrior Randomizer. While this is his first tournament, he's been around Dragon Warrior Rando for a while now. He also speedruns Jackal and Tetris 2, and plays a bunch on his Switch with his kids, which is awesome. Get those kids into gaming early. I love it. Yeah, so we have kind of a veteran presence versus somebody new. So this is an interesting little setup we have going on here.
Yeah, I did notice that they had said that this is going to be their first tournament so far, which it was my first tournament as well. So we do have a lot of first-timers here as far as tournament races go. But I do know that most of us are veterans of doing races.
Yep. This is my first Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament that I'm participating in. I obviously commentated a lot of the previous one earlier last year, and I've been involved with the community for about that long, so I'm certainly looking forward to it, even though I am currently 0-1 in the tourney, lost to some scrub named Ryusation.
It was a good race, though.
It was indeed. It was a close finish at the end when you killed Dragon Lord 2 when he whooped on me. Stupid heal spell.
Yeah, that is something that we can see in this race again. So as part of the Chaos flag, we do have Dragon Lord 2 with the possibility of having both heal or sleep. Sleep, of course, will put you to sleep, and he can just wallop on you really quickly. But then healing, if you cannot outdo the damage, you will need to stop spell him, as Captain Green does pick up his Staff of Rain. So one step closer to those key items that he needs. Now, the nice thing about Dragon Lord 2 in Chaos is his resistances to stop spell are also randomized. But that does mean that you could have as little as 1 in 16, as little as a 15 of 16 resistance, or a much nicer resistance of 1 in 16. I believe that's how that works. 15, 16 is bad, 1 16 is good.
Resistance? Yes, that's 15, 16 bad, 1 16 good. And I think we're going to see Datyedyeguy go and grab... I think he's going to go grab the princess.
Yep, does look like that's what he's doing. Not a bad idea with those coordinates that we have.
So it'll be interesting. Ooh, Druid Lords have Dragon Lord 2 breath. It'll be interesting to see what the boss is here.
Thankfully, at level 11, they do have plenty enough HP to survive that Dragon Lord 2 breath, though.
Meanwhile, this Drakey is really working over Datyedyeguy.
He is susceptible to sleep, at least, but he does hit for quite a bit.
And he's not hurt-mooring the Drakey, so that kind of tells me that that the Drakey is resistant to hurt-more. Boy, he just can't keep up with this Drakey's attack.
He does get him to sleep each time he casts it, but he's been waking up right afterwards, not giving him much time to try and heal to get some attacks in at all. Captain Green still skipping over going back to Caitlyn, which could definitely be a mistake later on, unless it does happen to be just the fairy flute on the world map, in which case that will save him quite a bit of time searching for it.
Oh, and the Drakey was the boss. Princess Gwaelin embraces thee. I'm so happy.
Ooh, Wizard's going down easy and giving 249 experience.
Oh, nice. Well, it looks like we have a town here. What town is this? This is Hawksness.
Well, we get to have our first peek at what may lie in Hawksness here, perhaps. Datyedyeguy having rescued the princess but could not get back past that Drakey, so he will have to do that rescue yet again.
It's interesting. Let's see if he goes for the rescue now, or if he tries to... Oh, instead of Drakey is the boss here, too. And Hawksness. Oh, this is brutal.
Captain Green going for the same strategy here to sleep him and then attempt to heal and do some damage, but having the same troubles that Datyedyeguy was having.
Well, he actually has a bigger problem. He only has the bamboo pole, so he can't do damage to the Drakey.
Oh, you're correct. And he was also very low on MP at that point. We do get to see at level 12, 114 and 115 on the MP count right now. Definitely a healthy and giving seed as far as magic and HP go.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Captain Green is now going to go back into the mountain cave to get his Erdrick sword.
Now would definitely be a good time with the amount of HP and MP he has. He shouldn't have much to worry about, even if he does run into the Dragonlord breathing slime as Datyedyeguy has done here.
It does look like he's diving into the mountain cave, which we know is the absolutely right move.
That will get him his Stones of Sunlight as well as the Erdrick sword, both which lie on the second level of the mountain cave.
So I haven't been able to check either one of their stats lately to see how their strength and agility are doing for a potential Charlock dive once they get everything they need. Ooh, Golem, Heartmore, 233. That's awesome.
So we definitely have, so let's see, we have the Knights, we have Golems, and we have Wizards, all going down to 1 Heartmore and giving over 200 experience each. And Captain Green's defense is definitely looking nice here, just based on the amount of damage he's been taking from these enemies, even though we have not had a chance to see his stats yet.
Meanwhile, Datyedyeguy gets Gwaelin and takes Gwaelin back to the king. And now we get the Gwaelin positioning system, the GPS.
Which in this seed does seem like it will be required, just from watching where the amount of steps they could take going north. I don't believe there were 64 steps available on this continent.
I don't think so. Geez, these spells are just hard to come by.
Well, they do have outside, so if they have to take a dive deep into Garen's grave, or at least Captain Green has outside at this point, it will make for a quick escape instead of having to walk all the way back out, so long as they have the MP to cast it. And so far, neither has been able to keep enough gold to potentially go and get that silver shield yet, which we do know is available in this seed. So an interesting thing about the randomizer is there are weapons and armor that may not be available in any shop in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've seen a flame sword yet.
We did see a flame sword, I want to say, in Rimildar for a little over 3,000, perhaps?
Oh, maybe. So, it looks like Datyedyeguy got to go way west and way north still.
Yeah, it does seem those coordinates were definitely going to be on the second continent, and quite a bit of walking to do.
Ooh, I think the Datyedyeguy found those wizards, and I think he might be trying to grind some. Even though, oh, look at that. Wyverns with Dragonlord 2 Breath.
That's what, our third enemy with Dragon Lord 2 Breath now? We had the Slimes, Wyverns, and one other, I believe.
Druin Lord, I think.
Yes, that's correct. It was the Druin Lord. He finds Drakis over in Wizard Country over there as well. Decides he's not going to play with those.
Axe Knight does not go down to an attack and a hurt more. So those are kind of out of the question.
And only 25 experience, so definitely not worth the time.
Lavkian, no. Captain Green does in fact have Erdrick's sword.
Oh, Captain Green does know where the Jerk Cave is.
I don't think it's that far from Hawksness.
And I believe Datyedyeguy going to have a little bit of an exasperated sigh here, knowing just how tough the Draki fight is. But he's actually doing quite a bit more damage to it this time and takes it out rather easy and finds a fairy flute. So we know that the coordinate item has to be the armor now, as it cannot be found in a chest.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's a big swamp between the Datyedyeguy and that armor. Oh, look, Breckenary.
Yep, we do have Breckenary, Faron Burgundy's favorite town, also known as Sixth Town.
And I think that armor is going to be near Breckenary.
High Spirit's calling it the useless town, but in Chaos it may not be as useless, seeing as the shop there could actually have armor or weapons that are worth purchasing that are not able to be found in other towns.
Lav, we already did see the Silver Shield in Garenham.
And we finally have Garen's Grave found by Captain Green, which we know has to, at this point, hold Erdrick's token, since we have checked all other available chests.
Have we seen the Vanilla Stones Cave?
Oh, you know what? You're right. We have not seen the Stones of Sunlight Cave yet.
Well, it's got to be one of these two places. Oh, look, Fighter's Ring.
Extra 2 attack powers, nothing to sneeze at.
It looks like they got Stop Spell, which might be useful at some places.
Could be needed even for Dragon Lord 2, depending on their attack power.
Oh, and it looks like the Vanilla Stones Cave is right by the grave here. So it's good. So the token's going to be right here.
And we do have Captain Green getting ready to go down to the lower levels. Both of our racers do have outside, so even if they have to go down to the bottom floor, which is the Vanilla Silver Harp chest, they will be able to exit quickly and get back out at least. So as our runners do approach, having collected all items, just a quick recap. We did find the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's sword in the Mountain Cave, which was the Tantagel basement staircase. Then we found the Silver Harp located in Rimildar, behind the 2 locked doors. We have the Fairy's Flute to be found in Hawksness. And we know that the armor has to be the coordinate item, as Cole did not hold anything, and the armor cannot be found within a chest, and that is located 64 north and 10 west of Tantagel. And then we have the token, which is yet to be found, but is either going to be in these last 2 chests in Garenham's Grave or the Stones of Sunlight Cave, which is right next door.
Two Hurtmores and the Armored Knight is not dead. There we go. 2 Hurtmores and an attack to the Armored Knight for 146 experience. Not worth it.
Yeah, it definitely takes a little too much time to get that down. But still, not too bad, at least 146. Better than seeing only 2 experience for all that work.
Very true. Now, the nice thing is right now, MP really isn't an issue for either one of our runners, so you can blow it on these guys without a problem.
Unless they stop spell you, since neither of our runners has Erdrick's armor yet, so they are still susceptible to being stop spelled.
Alright, we're coming now to the basement chest shortly. Let's see what we have here. And there is the token.
So we do have everything found other than the armor, which is not necessarily required, but it might as well be, seeing as how the Dragonlord 2 Breath will almost certainly take you out of the game before you have a chance to do much.
Yeah. A little surprised both of our runners went to the Vanilla Stones cave, because there's really nothing good left anymore in any of these chests. Oh, look, Breckenry. But hey, at least they're taking advantage of the 6 gold in, which is nice and cheap.
And Tie-Dye not too far away, so that cave does lie very near to the Stones of Sunlight, and he will pick up his Erdrick's armor. He has not found the Staff of Rain cave yet, however, and I do not believe he's found the Jerk cave, so he does have some more exploration to do before he's able to go to Charlock.
I'm pretty sure he saw the Jerk cave on the way to Breckenary.
Okay, so it's just the Staff of Rain cave that he has not located then.
Right, I don't think he has gone southwest of Cantlin, which is where I believe the Staff cave is.
We do have Captain Green grabbing his Rainbow Drop. Now, since he does know there are coordinates available, I'm wondering if he's going to go ahead and finally get those coordinates, or if he's going to make another trip to Hawks to find the Fairies' flutes.
Well, given the path that he's likely to take at this point, he's going to go right by Hawksness on the way to... There's Hawksness, go into Hawksness. Hawksness is right there. You what? Oh.
Oh, maybe he's going to go ahead and go check out the coordinates in Cantlin.
Wait, he's not going to just forget about the... Okay, alright. We know this is absolutely the right move to go get these coordinates.
Or I'm not sure what he's doing.
Silver Shield. Gotta be a Silver Shield.
He does have enough.
And there is the Silver Shield purchase for... Alright, so what do we have here? Strength is 77. So that means with Erdrick's sword, their attack is 117. Ooh, nope, need more.
We got a few more levels to grind. They are within the health range for using the Death Necklace, however.
Yeah, so I would think this is definitely a Death Necklace seed, especially given their elevated MP.
Yeah, double hits would not be required just based on the amount of MP they have. They can definitely outlive, even if the Dragon Lord 2 fight does have the max of 230 HP. They would still have more than enough MP to outlive that. And he is coming back to Hawks with that Silver Shield now.
Which is good because we know what's here.
Alright, seems like that might have been his plan, is get a little bit more defense before he takes on these Drakies again.
Smart. Very smart. Up to No Good in chat reports that he's pretty sure he saw 76 defense power right now, which is... Ugh.
Yeah, that is definitely not the ideal defense, especially knowing that Dragonlord 1 can easily wallop you for a good 70 damage.
Captain Green gets the fairy flute and he's like, okay, now I know I need those coordinates.
And so far, experience-wise, not too big a difference between the two. Only a 900 experience difference, with Captain Green being ahead and still fighting everything as he goes, while Datyedyeguy is opting to just explore and look for the Staff of Rain Cave here, it seems.
Demon Knight's absolutely not worth it with 6 experience.
Now, once Captain Green does pick up Erdrick's armor, that will give him an extra 4 defense, but still rather low.
Yeah, that means that their agility's got to be pretty darn low, which, I mean, granted, it's hard to run in Charlock and Chaos mode anyways, but with low agility, you're going to have to fight everything on the way down.
Which is not a bad option. It has worked out in favor a few times now.
Or, given their MP, do you blow a bunch on sleep and try to do the sleep run?
That is a possibility, since they do have plenty of MP, and sleep only, 2 MP per cast?
Yeah, sleep is 2. Believe me, I know. I did that all yesterday. Alright, so Captain Green gets his coordinates and probably lets out a little short string of expletives, knowing that he's got to go get a princess. And one minor thing that we've overlooked, that Chet just reminded me of, we can't fight the Dragon Lord anyways. We still don't have Healmore.
Yeah, that is true. And with Datyedyeguy and Captain Green both at 14, we only have 2 more levels left to go to get that Healmore, as you do get all spells by level 16, guaranteed. Which, looking at the experience difference at this point, there's about 1,200 experience difference. So that level could be quite a ways away still.
Captain Green gonna try counting. Of course, we know that ain't gonna work, dude.
And Datyedyeguy does find his Staff of Rain, so all he needs to do is go meet the ever-popular Jerk so he can get his Rainbow Drop. Affectionately known as the Jerk, since he will kick you out of his cave if you do not have all of the required items to get the Rainbow Drop.
Also worth noting, they don't have the repel spell either, so they can't, repel enemies easily. I don't think... you think you could buy it in... Hold on. Cantlin?
Yes, Fairywater and Cantlin.
Cantlin, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Cantlin being the only town where you can buy the Fairy's Water, and then Cantlin and Cole, I believe, are the only town you can find wings if you have not acquired a return spell by the time you go into Charlock, which is something I don't believe we've run across, but it is a possibility.
It is a possibility.
If you dive Charlock at level 15 and level 16 holds that return spell, you might want to have a set of wings available so you can get back to Tantegel rather quickly to turn in that ball of light to the king. But as they started with return at level 1, that will not be happening in this case.
Oh, chat reminding us that they can buy Fairy Water in Breckenary, but you need to use a key.
Ah, well, he wants to waste a key for Fairy Water.
Yeah.
So Breckenary does have a little bit more for use. It has Fairy Water. And I believe Captain Green is on his way to rescue the princess.
I believe.
Yep, and there she is.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy.
They also don't have Radiant yet at this point, so Repel, Radiant, and Healmore are missing. Radiant also very useful, especially with the MP count. When it comes to navigating Charlock, if you don't happen to have a torch on you, or if you just prefer the larger viewing window that Radiant offers compared to the torch.
Yeah.
Again, Charlock entirely possible to navigate in the dark, but with so many floors other than the last two, which are a straightaway, no twists, no turns, not the easiest thing to do.
No. So it looks like Datyedyeguy is getting his grind on. Trying to grind on the wizards, but unfortunately I think wizard territory also means wyverns, and wyverns hurt. Trolls aren't a picnic either. At least they give some decent experience.
Yeah, a little bit more rewarding than those wyverns, though. And hopefully Captain Green, when it comes time to do his grind, will remember just to the left of Rimmildar there was plenty of knights to be had. Tie-Dye actually giving us our first dive into Charlock, however.
Crow asking in chat, why was Gwaylin required? Gwaylin was required because there was... The Erdrick's armor was on the search spot, and it was on the second... I don't know if it was a continent, but it was on the second section of the map, and there was no reference point referencing the second and first. So there was no way you were counting those coordinates.
Yeah, without a point of reference, just other than searching every tile as you come across, not something fun to do. The GPS or the Gwaylin positioning system was definitely a required item or object this time around.
Right, now if you contrast that with last night's seed, I believe you said you didn't have the coordinates, even though the overworld item was on the quote-unquote second continent. There was a reference point that you could use to count. Right? Because I think you counted for you?
I think last night's seed, I don't think we had a coordinate spot.
Oh, that's right. No, we didn't.
There was a race with me and you actually that you are referencing though, where I was able to reference the spot and count it out though.
Okay, yeah, that has to be what I was thinking then.
And Captain Green on the search for his armor.
So if you notice, he's only about 150 experience points away from the next level, which the Datyedyeguy is getting close to quickly.
Yeah, those Goldmen giving 100 apiece, and then the Star Wyvern giving 133, both going down really quickly. He is definitely catching up in the experience game. But both our runners, aside from Captain Green, still needing to pick up the armor, are about even at this point.
There we go. Oh, look at that power boost. 19 power and radiant and heal more.
Oh, and that's a 16 experience to the next level?
I missed it. I was paying attention to Captain Green said. Yep, there's 16. Nice magic, more magic, which of course they don't need. 996, that's a quick one.
Depending on how much power he has at this point, though, he might just say, let's go with it.
Yeah, that's true. With that extra 17 power, that's going to put him, what, at about 130s? 140 on the attack? I mean, if he's at 140, then it's pretty much a free fight as long as he gets down there with that MP. And depending on what, we should never say that in Chaos Mode because Dragon Lord 2 is never free.
No, definitely not. Has been experienced in the last few races, especially with last night's race, with the that heal troll that he has.
And this is Chaos, so he can also have sleep.
And Captain Green getting his Erdrick's armor now. Maybe we'll get to see a stat check here.
So they're both at level 16. Here we go, stat check. 139 attack power, low defense, but good attack power. So it's diveable. I'd take the chance here.
Defense and agility both rather low. And he does remember there are those knights there, so he's going to go ahead and grab that extra level real quick.
Yeah, given that it was only 900, I don't blame him.
Unfortunately, not finding the Knights now, only finding the Poltergeist and Demon Knights, so there were a few other enemies in that area.
Goldmen are good at least.
And meanwhile, we do have Datyedyeguy actually diving Charlock, so he is saying, I'm ready to go.
17 didn't look like much of anything. I mean, it looked like 17 was a pretty large empty eye level.
And I don't believe I saw any 0 gains, but there was quite a few 1s in there, so really not much to be had. 1 HP, 1 MP, not going to be much of a deciding factor.
Yeah, agreed. I'm a little surprised he hasn't checked the GPS to see how much he's got to the next level. Oh, yep, maybe he's doing... Nope, never mind.
And Datyedyeguy just breezing through this Charlock, finding that the enemies are not tough to take out, and that those Drakies are easily sleepable and run away from. But we do still have Dragonlord 1 as well as Dragonlord 2, and that low defense, that Dragonlord 1 could just punch you before you get a chance to do much.
Yeah, if Dragonlord 1 has a high defense combined with a astronomically high attack, which we have seen, it could be an interesting fight.
And we have Captain Green making his first dive into Charlock, so both of our runners are now in Charlock, with Datyedyeguy just a couple of floors ahead.
I mean, I guess we can safely say that right now, both of our runners probably feel as comfortable as they can going into Dragonlord 1 and 2. Now the question is, how trolly are these two going to be?
So we have Datyedyeguy on the bottom floor heading to Dragonlord, as Captain Green makes his way into the second floor now.
Up to no good, reminding us that, yes, don't forget about the Death Necklace, so that could help too. As far as attack goes.
Now, with that high HP count that they have, the Death Necklace wouldn't be a bad idea. And with that extra 10 attack power from the Death Necklace, it can definitely help you out. As seen in the race last night, that extra 10 allowed me to actually overdamage the Dragonlord 2, so he did not get a chance to use heal on me.
Yep. Alright, he's looking. He's going to put on the Death Necklace, I would think. Here we go. Yep. So now we have 150 attack power. So that means he's going to be doing 12 to 25.
Oh, so for Dragonlord 1 with Hurt and Stop spell, so rather kind Dragonlord 1, and does take hits pretty well.
Ooh, hello.
And that's that 70 plus damage we were talking about that the Dragonlord 1 can do to you.
Oh, that was a fight.
Yeah, but he does go down. So we have Datyedyeguy, Datyedyeguy heading into Dragonlord 2, as Captain Green is almost to the bottom floor now.
So as long as Dragonlord 2 doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve, this should be relatively straightforward. So far, no tricks from Dragonlord 2. And there we go.
So a bit of a beefy Dragonlord 1. Did not skip leg day, but Dragonlord 2 going down relatively easy.
Yep, no tricks, nothing for, no sleep, no heal. So, ladies and gentlemen, get out your GGs. The Datyedyeguy has finished in first place in this race with an official SRL time of 59 minutes and 10 seconds, a sub 60. Well done.
We do get our first sub-hour seed of the tournament. All right, at this point, I have to feel the runners are happy that I was the one who rolled this seed. As I noted in the SRL chat, that it'd be the first seed I've rolled for somebody other than myself. And, well, good luck. In this case, it was definitely a lucky seed.
Yes, this was a very, very kind seed. This was pretty straightforward. And with that ding, I do believe we have the tie-dye guy. How are you doing, sir? Good game.
Good. Thank you. How's everyone else?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Nice. What do you think of the seed? It's pretty straightforward for the most part.
Yeah, those Drakeys were a pain, though. I tell you what.
Yeah, we did see that first Drakey fight when you went to rescue Princess Gwaylin, gave you a bit of trouble and sent you back home without the princess. But then afterwards, once you acquired a little bit more attack power, those Drakeys were quick to go down.
Yeah, that definitely helped out. But yeah, no, there wasn't too many hiccups or anything that I saw in this. It was, yeah, just relatively straightforward. Having everything basically on the other side of the swamp cave was interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. That was, yeah, it's interesting when that happens. Yeah. And Captain Green not putting on the death necklace before fighting Dragon Lord takes down the first phase without a problem, and is now into the relatively straightforward second phase.
Yeah, fair on noting that it was 169 HP that took Dragon Lord 2 out, so nothing too out of the norm for Dragon Lord at 2 HP.
Yeah, I'm thankful there was no surprises there at the end.
Yeah, Dragon Lord 1 hit like a truck.
Yeah, oof. I didn't realize it. I realized I did another attack without healing. That could have been real trouble there.
And Captain Green takes down Dragon Lord with really no issue whatsoever.
And finishes with a official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 47 seconds. So only a 2 minute and 37 second difference between our two runners here. So I do have to ask, and I'll be asking Captain Green as well, what was your thoughts when you saw those coordinates?
That seemed like a very far walk, especially once I realized it was on the other side of the swamp cave. I was like, okay, I definitely need to go and get the princess, because there's no way I'm going to count that out. And that's kind of led to diving on that Drakey, sooner than I probably should have. But yeah, that was a long walk. I'm not used to seeing it that far. Usually, it's 20 or 30 steps in one direction, not 60 something. That was something.
Yep, and with that ding, I think we have Captain Green with us. Captain Green, good game, man. I mean, putting up a 1 hour and 2 minute time is usually nothing to scoff at. So you played well.
Yeah, good game, man.
All right, so I did ask Tie-Dye Guy this. I want to ask you as well. What were your thoughts when you saw the coordinates? At first, you had skipped Caitlin, but then eventually you did go back and found out that those coordinates were going to be 64 north and 10 west. What was your thoughts?
Hello?
Oh, apparently, I was muted. I apologize.
There we go. I think we have you now.
So I had asked Tie-Dye this. I wanted to ask you as well. When you saw the coordinates, at first you had skipped Caitlin, but did go back later and found that it was going to be 64 north and 10 west. What was your thoughts when you saw those coordinates?
I was pretty sure it was going to be on the second continent. I double-checked just to be sure, but then I realized it was going to be like way away from everything. It's pretty funny. I think that's actually probably the furthest I've ever had to travel to get the armor. I've only played a few seeds so far, so that's why I kept checking it like every 10 steps at first. But then once I realized how far it was, I stopped checking so often.
Yeah, it was definitely a walk, but thankfully they had some other the plot items over there right by it too, so it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it did come in handy having Garen's Grave holding the final item, the token, and the vanilla silver harp chest at the very bottom, and then Erdrick's armor not being too far away as well.
Yeah, Unfortunately, I did have to make like 2 trips for it because I had already gone back to the castle and had to rescue the princess after I had already picked up those items. So it was kind of double walking for me, I guess.
Yeah, and I was starting to get worried. Like if I didn't find the token in that cave, I wasn't aware of any other chests I really missed. So I was I was really hoping it was going to show up there. I was pretty relieved when it did.
Yeah, the only other check neither one of you had, the only other chest neither one of you had checked at that point was the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, which was right next door, anyways.
Yeah. Well, my memory isn't the best, so I was hoping it was right. But yeah, I'm glad that was it.
Yeah, out of curiosity, there, you did both go ahead and check these stones of Sunlight Cave. Just a little curious as to why, as you did have every item necessary at that point.
Yeah, I no good reason for that. I guess as long as it's just like 5 steps away, so I'm like, might as well. But yeah, it was probably just a waste of 20 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, just habit, I guess.
Well, I have to say this was quite the good race. I mean, you both raced really well. I mean, the finishing time was what, 2-3 minutes. So that's awesome. You guys did a great job. Well done. Well done. You put on a real good show.
Thank you. How was the fast text? Did that play well?
Once Ryu and I got used to it, it was actually a lot easier to follow than I thought it would be. Because I've played the speed text once before, and I found it hard to keep up. But for whatever reason, not playing it, I could follow it a lot easier. So, and yeah, I thought it played real well.
Yeah, it was a little difficult at first. Those first couple of levels that Yo got did miss out seeing exactly what was going on. Caught a stat here and there, but then after that, yeah, it was still actually rather easy to keep up with it. Same goes for the experience and gold gains on the enemies as well. And fortunately, wasn't really any too difficult enemies other than having a few with Dragonlord 2 breath, but there was plenty with stop spells, so not too many hurt mores, not too many hurts, and not too many baby breath enemies either.
Yeah, again, there wasn't anything too tough. Just a couple guys that were really tough to run away from, like the Datyedyeguy and such.
Yeah, overall, I think this was maybe one of the easier seeds I had played. So it was, given that this was my first ever race on Dragon Warrior Randomizer, it was probably a pretty nice seed to be able to start with.
Yeah, this was that's nice job on your first ever race. That's awesome finish.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions for our runners, Ryu?
No, I think I'm good.